The New World devs certainly don't want you to rest on your laurels when you reach the endgame. How else would you explain that one of the first tasks they set before you as a fresh level 60 is to pursue Isabella in the main story quest all the way to the deadly northernmost tip of the island, alone, undergeared, and on foot? VannKraken here. In a Tournament Academy episode 4, we'll show you exactly how to take on one of the most challenging solo PvE tasks in New World. Unlocking the Tempest Heart quest by running through Myrkgard, the game's notoriously difficult elite point of interest. It seems like an impossibly tall order to get past the monsters of Myrkgard. Menacing menagerie that includes level 65 mobs, level 65 bosses, major corruption breaches, and even high levels of background corruption from the toxic environment, and as a fresh level 60 without the benefit of strong gear. If you watched our last episode about 5 things to do as a new level 60, you'll know that our gear is definitely hampered by our low expertise rating. But we did purchase a full set of armor with the Corrupted Ward perk, which stacks to give us a 22.5% reduction in damage taken from the powerful corrupted foes that inhabit Myrkgard, and can help us survive at least a few blows from the mobs, but probably not from the bosses. Overall, our gear score is really weak for Myrk at just 537, which means our tactics for this challenge will be 100% running and evasion only, as we are definitely not looking to pick a fight. With our gear readied up, we'll get set by dropping a tent for quick respawns and take a look at the map of Myrkgard to plan out the most advantageous route for us to reach the Tempest Heart. Elite chest run zergs heading through Myrk almost always start through the left gate facing north, and after a few quick probes of the level 66 Hellion that guards it on that side, we find there is really going to be zero chance of running or even sneaking by him without getting him very angry, as he doesn't stray very far from the entrance. With the brute hot on our heels right at the outset, and with other mobs in front of us that we are going to aggro, we can't get far at all and find that death by the boss's meatball or vortex attacks rapidly awaits us. Since it's definitely a false start to keep pursuing this losing strategy, we pick up camp and shift our attention to the right gate to see if we can fare any better. As we move our point of entry, things start looking up right away.
We're in business, definitely!
A quick peek through the right gate in the Tangle shows that the boss guarding it is much further away than on the other side, and he's so busy pounding the orichalcum he might not even see us enter. So we move through the gate, keeping as far to the right as we can, and book straight up the flight of stairs. And then as we head down the street in front of us, we have to split some mobs that distract us, and we run too close to the second Warcaller boss, affectionately known as a commander, that quickly resembles the Thort boss from the Depths expedition, but on a big dose of supernatural steroids. These guys are stout, mobile, and absolutely as brutal as their nameplate description implies. We run too close and trigger his patented flame dash that allows him to quickly close the gap and one-shot us from behind with a downward thrust from his flaming blade. After getting a taste of just how vulnerable we really are in Myrk, we decide to respec our attributes for the second trip by boosting our constitution for about 10% more health, and we add a corruption tincture to our hotbar. And we learn our lesson and hop over the rocks on the right of the spillway to successfully skirt around Thorpe, then avoid running into a corruption breach by heading higher up the path on our left with a few friends in tow. Now we continue to a deadly gauntlet past 3 more bosses. A priest, a bear, and a second commander. We have no choice but to aggro the priest as we hop by. We will most likely trigger the bear as well unless we are lucky enough for him to be facing away from us. The key to this section is to take a sharp left at the bear so we don't aggro the commander too. We use our WASD and spacebar hacks to take an unpredictable path. And once we progress far enough forward, we take a hard turn through any of the narrow alleyways to our right where the bear can't follow, that lead us directly above the dead center of Myrk and the site of another major corruption breach known as the Amphitheater. At this point, we have to cycle through our survival consumables, and yes, infused health, infused regeneration, and hearty meals do stack. After we dip in and out of the amphitheater, we head down the street to our right and don't intend to stop for anything. We have to juke a priest in the doorway in front of us, and then we have to skirt a final corrupted portal on our left-hand side. And continue on until we hit a ramp to our final destination known as Pilgrim's Ascent. As we wind upwards and finally reach the stairs to the Myrkgard Cathedral, the Des will tip their hat to the level of the challenge on our first trip by issuing the appropriately named Heart-Pounding Excitement Achievement as we arrive intact at the top of the hill. And since we may have dragged some trash all the way into the cathedral, our first task when we reach the summit is to go through the church and take the doorway to the right. Then up and down a few more sets of stairs so we can unlock the actual entrance of the Tempest Heart Expedition.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
We made it. It's really important that we don't forget to do this, as it allows us to be able to start or join parties directly in the group finder anytime we'd like. And we do have a pursuer, so after the Tempest Heart entrance is checked off our to-do list, we don't pause, but immediately retrace our steps back through the cathedral instead. Then we head back out and down the stairs to the right to grab the fast travel shrine before we engage the enemy, as we don't want to let all of our hard work go to waste. And finally, after we've achieved all of our objectives, we pull out our weapons to see just how tough it is to take down even a single level 65 mob in Myrk. Well, it definitely wasn't easy and it took some perseverance and strategy, but we hoofed it solo through the harshest open world environment in a tournament to reach our goal, even with our weak gear score. So give yourself the benefit of the doubt and give this challenge a shot. Just keep in mind that even if you die a few times along the way, which you might, you can do it and it feels really good to reach the top of Myrk on your own. Remember, you do have the fallback option of running with a group if you'd rather keep your pulse at a nice, calm level instead. While you are here, check out our video in the corner above about the 5 things you should do immediately as a fresh level 60 if you just arrived, or to get you prepared for the endgame if you haven't quite reached it yet. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or to join us for a live stream here on YouTube or on Twitch. I thank you for watching Eternum Academy and hope you have a fun, exciting, and successful solo run for your life through Myrkgard. This is VannKraken, and I am out.